Hey everybody, what's going on? That was just a theme tune to enter us into the show. Welcome to the show, Catherine. Catherine, welcome yourself on the show.
I've never heard whatever that is that you play.
It's a jingle. It's very
Yeah.
TV show, movie. It's very
Slick.
It's slick. It's classy.
Entertainment.
Slick, classy entertainment. It's the week before we travel, the week of traveling.
I don't know why, but I mean, I know we're like just sitting in our house, but like, the way we exist with the woman next door, it's like I'm
The dumb cunt next door.
I'm scared. Well, I'm your words, not mine, but it's like I feel like concerned about disturbing like a mythical beast, you know.
No,
Like,
there's something malignant about her. All right, she's
I
got
saw her.
dark energy.
I
Describe
saw
her
her.
to the folks.
Well, she looks like she is how she is, and
Angry.
like, yeah, angry, short, straight hair, wider face than I had imagined.
Late 30s, early 40s.
I mean, you
Anywhere
know,
from 30 to 60, really, isn't it?
well, I feel like late 30s, but rough. You know, it looks like
It's all that anger pent up.
it looks like me if I was angry the whole time.
You are angry a lot of the time, but not the
like,
whole time.
That's what I mean. But I've had a lot of fun too, like in a lifetime.
Mm.
Like she looks like. I feel like she's listening. She looks like she's somebody who could never say the things she says through the wall to my face. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
I got that impression the one time I passed her as well.
You've passed her.
Remember?
No.
There was one time you were like, "Did you see her?" And I was like, "I think so."
Oh, well, we didn't.
I saw her, but it was so. She looked exactly as I kind of imagined, like Italian, angry, shitty,
But like,
fucked up.
wouldn't say it to my face.
Well,
See,
she looks super boring as well. And
Yeah.
depressed and
Yeah.
smelly.
It was smelly.
Yeah, Italians are a smelly race.
Okay, now
okay.
you're just generalizing for no reason. I mean, sometimes delicious smelling.
Let's go.
Pizza pie.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Okay. I
But
concede that. Just for pizza, everything else is fucking trash.
really?
And pasta.
I mean, yeah. What?
And gondolas are pretty cool.
Okay.
And Venice, I suppose. And Romans.
Have you ever been to Venice?
No.
Well, then you can't include Venice.
Which is boats. I like boats.
I like boats. Wow, this
Gondolas.
is
They
really
call them gondolas.
gondolas. Yeah. Well, seeing her was like an event for me. I don't know. Does that mean my life has gotten? Well, it's just interesting when you live next to someone who you know hates you so much. Now, it doesn't. It's not personal because I think she'd hate anybody. But you know, she makes it personal by like saying things that like about us or that we've said back at us through the wall, which is like, how would you ever explain that to another person? Do you know what I mean? Like, if we were to like call our landlord, be like, no, like it's definitely about us, you know? But it's just weird to feel like the vitriol, right? It's like you get like sucked into the crazy, you know? Like,
Yeah.
and so then, yeah.
Doesn't take. I remember my plan was that we should start whispering in the kitchen where she can hear us about we're planning to murder her. And you're
and
like,
I said,
you can go to jail for that. And I was like, oh,
correct. And we
But
aren't
it'd be
planning
funny
that,
if
for the record.
Because she's listening to us, so if she just
She's
heard,
probably listening to us right now.
if she heard that we're going to cut her fucking head off,
We're not going to do that.
we're gonna
I
cook
don't
her,
think.
we're going to cook her and eat her.
I don't
Gonna make
want to
Italian-
taste what that
and
is.
Yeah, it tastes bad.
I think it's
probably.
rotten.
Yeah, I don't
It's-
know.
But
you could
I've-
melt fucking cheese and anything. Like.
Yeah, true. Hot sauce does wonders. I've just started being as nice as I can through the wall, which is like part of my day. What an interesting. You know, the thing is I think we talked about this once already, but there's like, yeah, these feel like rich people problems. Like, I don't know. When I lived in poorer neighborhoods, it wasn't a thing. But yeah, that's my big news.
But we're not rich people.
I know we're not rich people, but we're surrounded by rich people.
So we get their problems, we don't get their money.
Correct.
That's fucking retarded.
Rich people love keeping their money. That's how they stay rich.
Yeah, it's a good tactic.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with him.
No.
I had an eventful night last night.
Last night.
No, the night before.
Yeah, I know. Do tell.
I got sick on 2 trains.
Yeah, 2 trains.
No, a house and 2 trains. In Luke's house.
Showgirl.
On his back door. And then I told them, him and his girlfriend, that I was fucking feeling good. And I was ready to hit the road.
So you lied.
I thought I had emptied the
Chamber?
Yeah, the holding tank.
Hmm.
And I don't know, I got sick on 1 train and I was like, alright, that's enough. That is enough. Okay, we've made a show of ourselves. 34 years old. Covered in vomit going on the train, and then covered in more vomit coming off the first train. And then somewhere along the second train journey on the Central line, I got the Jubilee line. I hit that, destroyed it, nice, all over the fucking doors. And some of some of the glass, the glass separating the door and the seat. There, just a nice spray there.
Yeah.
Yeah, people disgusted, astonished, and then I was like, wait, let's do the Central line. Then halfway through that journey, I was like, oh, it's gonna happen. And then I did that thing where everyone does it.
No, I've never done it.
No, you've done it. Everyone's
Incorrect.
done it. Where you put your hand, it's like you think your hand's gonna stop it, but your hand just creates a spray beam.
I would agree. Everyone does it except for me. I was a professional at puking from drinking while being drunk and the day after. And I never, let me think, I've never done the spray thing.
You wouldn't remember.
No. Yeah, I'm telling you, I have remembered the places I puked. I've puked on the train plenty of times, but what I had to do one night was a Jim Beam special at this bar. I know. God, I don't even remember. Like, I guess I was going home.
What is Jim Beam? Is it like fucking Jack Daniel's retarded brother?
Yeah, basically, it's not good. And but there were like shot girls everywhere, and they're giving away free shots. So, I was at this bar that I always went to. I was actually thinking about this the other day. First of all, I was underage.
Which makes it cooler.
Yeah, but second of all, and this is shameful, and I was feeling shame about this the other day. I had no money, and the very nice bartenders would always give me drinks for free, but I had no money to tip. So I didn't tip, I didn't pay, and I was underage, and I feel rotten about it.
Burden to everyone.
Exactly, and then I get hammered, But I was kind of fun to be around sometimes. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's why it was allowed. But like, I would have these. God, this guy would come in. His name was Keith, and he was like 6'4", and he would order. What did he call them? It wasn't a Long Island iced tea.
Oh, those are nice.
It was I think they called it a Long Beach, and it was basically a Long Island iced tea with cranberry instead of iced tea. And this is a big motherfucker.
I like that.
Yeah, so he would drink a bunch of them, but he got me to. So whenever he showed up, I was like, I'll have a Long Beach too, and I would just drink my fucking head off. One time I remember I lost my septum ring, and then the guy who was a bar back there walked me down to St. Mark's so I could buy a new one, and then walked me back, and then I kept drinking, and then
Why did you have to get one straight away? Does it close up?
I was hammered. I don't know why I had to get one straight away. And then I was berating my neighbor who I was also sleeping with in the cab on the way home. He liked to take cabs, so I don't think I was the reason that they got the cab, but I like hitched a ride in the cab, and then I like emptied the contents of my purse in my bedroom, and then slept till like 4:00 the next day. So anyway, I'm an asshole. I was very young though, so this is me trying to atone for my sins. Sorry. One of the guys who used to work there has been on Law and Order before. He's an actor. I hope he's doing well.
Was he a criminal or part of the
I think he was a criminal. Is he a pedophile? No, not a pedophile, but I think a punk rocker. And the woman who worked there was very cool, and everybody had a crush on her. Everybody loved her, and she was growing gray prematurely, and it looked amazing. And yes. I think I hurt her the most with my actions. So, and her very hot, I guess, husband, who she has a baby with, came into a restaurant that I worked at years later, and I was so nervous because she like knew someone I worked with there. And I think I apologized there. But if I didn't, I just want to say now, I'm sorry. I was very drunk. I was very young. And, holding in a lot of trauma, I guess. I know that's not an excuse for everything, but I think it's part of it. Anyway, I acted like a dick, and everybody was incredibly nice to me there. And I don't think I meant to act like a dick, but I did act like a dick. So anyway, I would go to that bar, and there were shot girls, and I was riding the train home with this guy who was a redhead named Cassidy Fox. And I know that sounds made up, but that's his real name.
Redhead.
Yeah, and
that's good.
Yeah, we would call him the Fox because he was very cute. And I remember I needed to vomit, and I looked at Cassie, and I was like, I need to vomit. And then I just turned and, leaned over and vomited incredibly discreetly. Nobody saw it. There weren't a lot of people on the train at the time. But, yeah, no, I at some point, I think I just saw some girl, like, bleh, and I was just like, I'm never going to do that. So I figured out how to vomit like an adult in public, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I've been there before, but I've seemed to have lost it. I think I'm back like a 17-year-old vomiting again.
Well, the thing is,
I don't drink anymore. That's why my body's not used to it. I've got a boy's body. I used to have a drinking man's body. Now I've got a boy's body and liver that can't handle it.
I don't think that's a bad thing.
It's gay.
Wow, are you really in the mood to record this podcast?
Yes.
Your whole vibe right now is very.
No, you're doing a great job.
I'm doing a great job. Yeah, but this isn't.
I spent all day cutting fucking insulation, and it fucks with you big time. It fucks with your fucking nose and eyes and skin and shit.
Oh, good.
So that's why I'm a bit retarded.
Wow, the joys of being alive. Yeah. Way to. Wow, then coming from the guy who's ready to do this.
I'm ready to do this. I can do this. What else is going on? I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. I was watching that. Did I tell you I was watching that?
I was stunned I came in the room and you made a reference to when you had watched it before, and I was like, what the fuck? How long have you been watching this?
No, it's been on for like 15 years. So it's
no, but you like, when I say before, I mean like the day before. And I was like, what are you talking? And mind you, I've seen none of it. I've seen maybe 10 seconds of it. So
I heard.
Why do we have to talk about this?
A rumor that Boy George tried to murder a rent boy and threatened to sodomize him. And then I was like, with that information, now I want to see the show. And I was watching the show, and I'm like, 100% he done that.
So that's why we need to talk about this.
He's definitely got away with that, because he only did 4 months, which sounds like you. But he's on the show. And then it was interesting because he talks about it briefly on the show, and he denies it. He says it's like all a lot of bullshit. And then you look
on
at
the show?
Yeah, on the show, someone kind of in passing brought it up, and he was like, "Well,
this is all produced."
Yeah, well, you get to see people's real personalities, and he fucking done it. Whatever he done it. He's a real fucking con.
You're telling me you think that on that reality show we are seeing people's real personalities?
I'm seeing the parts they can't hide, for sure, because he's not coming across good. He's coming across like a piece. I've watched it like fucking twice, and he's like a piece of shit. And I was like, he's getting like $500,000 to do it, so that's enough to kill the next rent boy and get away with it. You know what I mean?
I like that. I like that it took this show for you to be like, yeah, Boy George definitely a piece of shit. Like, now confirmed. I feel like that could have been confirmed. I don't know, at any point in the 80s. Just watch a little bit of.
I don't know anything about him. I just know that song.
Which song?
Come, Camellia, which is actually called
Chameleon.
I know. I just realized
Why did you just say camellia?
That's what I thought it was.
You thought it was what's a camellia?
I thought it was a girl. I didn't know what gay was. I thought he was talking about a girl. Come on, Camellia. And then when I've seen it's Karma Chameleon. Yeah, I had no idea. Amazing.
Yeah, the more you know.
Amazing stuff. And your mate Sean Walsh is on the show. He's a cool guy.
Do you have anything else you'd like to say?
Who else is on? No, that's it. That's fucking. I'm trying to get some fucking current event jokes for my stand-up. You know what? You're right, because everyone's watching everything. I gotta write some Kanye jokes. But that's the only way.
Why do you like topical jokes?
Because they're fun.
What's fun about them?
You're right.
No, I mean, what do
scratch
you mean
the
I'm right?
surface and it all falls apart. No, I don't know. It's fun to just because it's constantly it's something new that you have to get out early, or else it becomes old very quick.
Yeah, I don't know. I used to be more aware of what was going on, and now I'm like, no, thank you. The less I know, the better I feel. But on that point, we were just more. I've had enough people tell me, "Oh, you're like Fran Lebowitz," and I had never really dabbled. And now that I watched a few episodes of the Martin Scorsese documentary about,
do you think you have any Jewish in you at all?
No, but I know there's a vibe.
There's definitely a Jewish vibe after watching that.
Oh yeah.
Well, she's Jew fucking squared. That's concentrated Jew. Ooh, I shouldn't even put concentrated Jew in the same sentence.
No.
But yeah, you've got Hebrew vibes for sure.
Yeah. What is it? What part? What part about me?
I'm complaining.
Oh! I like seeing the fear in your eyes. Go on.
What's a nice way to say critique?
Critique?
Oh, someone who's very critiqueful, which is
critical is I think the word you're looking for.
Critiqueful. You bring your critique notes like a writer would to every aspect of your life.
It's funny.
And that's like very Jewish, I think.
Why is that, or is that just Fran Lebowitz?
Now I'm starting to confuse Jewish and
Fran.
her.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Is like I was watching
Hebrew. All right, keep on going.
I was watching her, and I was like, okay, yeah, I see it. And it's funny because it's like I've been all in this, well, I don't know if you know, Mark, but I've been in this like sort of space of like, I don't know, feeling all my feelings for the first time, which is meaning I've lost a bit of my Fran.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so when I was watching that, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I don't know. When I was watching that, I was like, yeah, I missed that bit of me. I'm feeling a little too woo-woo, a little too accepting. Maybe I'm not accepting. I don't really know. But I was like, oh yeah, because she like hates airplanes and getting like the thing that she's embracing it, whereas I'm trying to kind of like accept things.
Well, she seems to enjoy hating it.
But that's what I mean. Maybe I'm trying to like accept things as they are and find the joy in it, whereas the joy in it should be maybe not liking the things I don't like.
Yeah, that's exactly she nails that. Like,
well, that's what I mean. I'm just saying, like, I've been like sitting there like trying to be like everything she said about riding on the airplane and going to the airport. I'm like, I 100% agree with that. I think I once it was weird when we were watching that. I was like, I kind of remembered. And I'm sure it's somewhere in like some archives or some notebook of mine, but I think I was like, the worst part about going outside is like there's people, like, or something like she said. Do you know what I mean? Like she said something like that, yeah. But I mean, I was like I don't. It was something. I was like, fuck. Was I trying to do a joke? But it felt too like I couldn't get people on board. Because it was like I think I have something like that in a notebook somewhere. Because I was like, yeah. Anyway, the point is I don't know.
She was hanging out with all the jazz musicians.
Yeah,
Charles Mingus. He seemed like a cool guy.
Cool life.
Maybe I should start listening to jazz.
That's the thing. Like, I was sitting here and I was like trying to I don't know anything about anything anymore, but I was trying to figure out what's the like now equivalent to that. And I'm like, I don't think it fucking exists. Anybody who seems famous seems like a fucking loser to me.
There's no real famous people because everyone's famous in their own little bubble, isn't it? Because of social media.
But that's what I like. I was like, I don't think anything exists like that way,
No, because it's the modern era, and
speaking of, I was walking to a comedy club, and I was passing this restaurant, and it was like a pop-up restaurant for something, and they were like, we serve like modern flavor or like modern food, and I was like,
what is modern food?
That's what I mean. I was like, what?
What did you look at the menu?
No, it was on the sandwich board, and I was on my way somewhere, and I was like, modern food? Like, don't give me this fucking apple, this garbage.
What is it? Is it a pair with Wi-Fi? That's okay. Okay, I'm struggling here to make anything funny.
Yeah, wow. The keep things fresh and different, huh?
Yeah.
Topical jokes. You don't seem like
No, I'm all fucked up from
if you say insulation. Or
insulation. See, I can't even remember what it's called.
Jesus, you're the one who wanted to do this.
I'm building this whole house myself because this guy's all fucked up because he fell and smashed his ribs. So I'm kind of like building a whole house. I'm a fucking house building man.
Well, are you
I'm
actually building a house?
I'm a real builder.
Are you actually building a house?
It's a garden house, but it's exactly the same as a normal house. You know?
Well, could you build a house if I bought land in Portugal?
No.
What the fuck? You just said you're building a house. You just declared to everyone,
yeah,
I'm a builder.
I was showing off. No, I couldn't. I can't read any of this stuff, but I can.
What do you mean you can't read any of this stuff?
You have to be able to read blueprints. And
well, so why are you in charge of building something now?
Well, there's a guy there who can't do anything because his arms are all fucked up.
Wow. So
I guess I'm not really building a house. I guess I'm just taking instructions. I guess I got ahead of myself.
From an armless dude?
He's got arms, which are just not functioning right now.
Huh.
Yeah. I was too confident there for a second. It's good I took myself down a few pegs. Are you excited about travelling? I like the plane. I'm like excited about who are we flying with?
We're flying with United.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have no idea if that's good or not. Oh, 9/11. Is that one? Were they United?
I have no idea. I don't even know.
Why
should I know? Why would I know that? Are you just asking me because I'm American?
I just thought you'd have some sort of fucking modern history of your own country.
I have to know
United.
which
100%
plane,
I think
which
it was
plane it was.
Well, actually, I mean, it could have been a few different airlines. I think United was one of the airlines. United 93, that sounds familiar?
I think it was Qatar.
No, it wasn't.
It was a joke.
Explain the joke.
Neither of us are hitting home runs tonight, buddy.
No, we're
so
not.
Just let it go.
The Qatar World Cup just kicked off. I was wondering if you were making a reference to that.
Maybe I am.
Anyway, are we sitting together on the flight?
No, we're getting our seats handed to us as we get on the flight. That's why I'm like, what are you so fucking excited about? And I looked at like what it would. I was like, okay,
is alcohol free on a flight? I might have a beer.
Are you out of your fucking mind?
It's not free. Is that those days over?
What the hell? When did you? Were you flying in the 50s? What are you talking about?
I've been on flights in the last few years where alcohol was free. Definitely.
Incorrect.
10 maybe it was. No, yeah. Yeah. Transatlantic flights, free booze.
Wrong.
What's happened?
Yeah, I don't know. Welcome to the present day, buddy. I don't even know.
I mean, obviously we get a free meal. I mean,
you get a free meal. Yeah, I think they're going to give us.
Do you get a drink with the meal? You might get a drink with the meal.
I guess, if I had to guess, there would be, because this is an 11-hour flight, which is actually, that's how long it took to get to Florida. They're going to give us a snack and a meal. That doesn't make sense because
Florida's way closer.
Yeah.
How does that make sense? Did you stop off on the way to Florida?
No. Maybe it was 9 hours.
You're going. I guess you're going
10 hours. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand modern air travel. But the point is you're sitting here like fucking hooray! All these things that you think you're getting, you're not getting. And yeah, like I looked up how much it would cost so we could like sit together. I mean, the way the plane is like even laid out now, it's like one seat is preferred and the seat next to it is not. So the preferred seat one way is $77 and the other seat one way is like $23. So it's fucking $100 to sit next to each other one way, which means an extra $200 to sit next to each other two ways minimum. Fucking what the fuck?
Yeah, now I'm thinking we should have just got that money, invested it in sleeping tablets, but I just didn't have time.
You had plenty of time.
No, well, I didn't have a connection, I guess.
For months.
We don't do drugs anymore, so I don't have a... Hey, if any of the listeners out there, if you listen to this straight away, and you know someone in London that has Xanax or Valium or... What's a good one? Oxycodone.
Ambien, just something to get on the airplane.
Ambien,
honestly, something to get on the airplane. Because
there's nothing I can get prescription over the counter, is there?
Because this is what's going to happen. I'm going to get a middle seat. I know it. Then
I'll switch with you because I don't care. I don't give a shit. I can sleep on planes. I'm going to watch the movies anyway.
Yeah, I'm going to watch the movies.
I don't have podcasts, and I was thinking they might be giving me a beer.
You're out of your mind. And if you buy beer, it's like $9.
No, I'm not going to buy one. I just really thought there might be a fucking... Yeah, I guess they must have stopped giving free alcohol. I mean, nothing's...
Do you want my mommy to buy you beer?
No.
How do you feel about meeting my mom?
Excited.
Wow, convincing.
Ecstatic. No, I think I'll be good. I'll just keep my head down and smile.
Keep my head down and smile.
It's America. Everything's so big.
It sounds like prison.
Fantastic.
I'm actually pretty excited.
I just look amazed at everything.
Well, through fresh eyes, I feel like I'm going to feel amazed at everything. It is big. Stuff is big there. It's big. People are friendly. They're loud. I like it.
Yeah.
They're friendly and loud, and it's all bright colors and bullshit.
Where do I have to... You have to tell me exactly where I have to tip again. I don't have to tip when
my mom?
I don't have to tip in the convenience store, as you call it.
Jesus. What, like a gas station?
Yeah, you don't have to tip there, do you?
No.
Those people are fucked.
How is this a conversation?
There, so?
I don't know, maybe get free gas.
You have to tip at the bar.
Yeah, you tip at a bar, you tip at a restaurant. It's really not that hard. You tip a bellhop.
You tip per drink or per item, not per item served at a restaurant.
You would tip per drink.
Per drink.
But if you have a tab, you would tip on the tab.
At the end of the tab. And it's 15%.
20.
20? Jesus Christ, can everyone get their head out of my fucking ass? I get sick in the tube, fucking... That's why I said that to you. I was like, I'm glad I got sick of that fucking tube because I'm paying 20% of my wages to the fucking dickhead government here. So that's my tube to get sick on, and that's my tube. I'm paying your wages to clean it up. I'm gonna get sick of the fucking tube more often because the only way I can get the fucking money back anyway.
The logic feels flawed, but I hear you, man.
Yeah, well, I've been seeing my wages, and I've been seeing the big chunk of tax that's just flying out of my ass.
I know. I don't think this is, God, well, I don't think I should say it because, well, I won't.
What?
This isn't my favorite place I've ever lived.
You've only lived in 3 places?
Oh, yeah? Why don't you name them? Because I've lived in more than
4
3 places.
And 3 in America and one...
Incorrect, but keep going.
Reno, California, New York, London. Boom. Chaboom. Chillaboom.
Well, I would count the 6 months I spent in Arizona in the all-girls prison. I would count that.
That's surviving, not living. I'm talking about living. Hello.
Fair enough.
But I'm right then, so besides Arizona.
I like that. Wait, so the 6 months in Australia doesn't count either?
No, not really. That's not...
but I've spent 6... I was there during... Yeah, you're right. I wasn't, living, but I was there, and, that's more time than most people will spend in Australia in their entire lives.
Yeah, but it wasn't real life, and we're talking about actual real-life living places to compare. That's what's worse than here.
I was eating, I was shitting, I was weeping.
Yeah,
actually,
no, but...
I really wasn't doing a lot of weeping. Do you remember that?
I do not remember if you weren't weeping.
You don't remember?
If you weren't weeping?
That in Australia, I wasn't weeping. I wasn't crying.
Oh, really? Doesn't sound like you.
Yeah, I know that doesn't sound like me anymore because now the floodgates are open and I cry all the time. But I
can't remember Australia.
You can't remember Australia? Lucky you.
Oh, I was...
Wow.
I was not working there at all. I was keeping pretty busy.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the worst place you ever lived?
It's the place I might like the least, yeah.
Huh. So it's worse. Okay, well, I'll see Sacramento for myself, and then I can do...
I mean, I wouldn't want to fucking go back to Sacramento, but I think there's some charm about it.
Well, I'll find out for myself. I'll see if I'll take your word for it until I land there, and then I'll do my own inspections. Oh, we got people we need to thank.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Bev and Shane.
Okay.
Dublin.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks very much for listening to the podcast. Kev, Damo, Chicken House, Max Gay Retard.
I think Damo dropped off, not gonna lie.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean. Fucking pour a drink for the dead, whatever.
Maybe Kev.
Sorry I said that bit is yeah.
Great.
Fuck yes. Yes, that's how I got them all without help. I think.
Thank you, though. No, it does honestly mean a lot.
It does mean a lot. I know I always say I'm going to pick up the game, but you know, I'm fucking mentally just fucked from... I'm back to work, guys. The dream is over. The art dream is over. I'm back to...
But it's not completely over.
It's fucked. Back to fucking... I'm walking to work. This is the height of poverty. I'm walking to work like a man in the 70s. I'm hobbling to work.
Except it's not the 70s.
I got new boots though.
Except it's not the 70s.
My new boots fucking rude.
Shit is infinitely worse.
Shit's infinitely worse than the 70s?
No.
Yeah, in the 70s I'd probably make a wage where I could buy a fucking house or something.
Yeah, and I think they were cooler in general. There's more like...
Yeah, but people in the 70s probably thought that about people in the 50s.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah.
I doubt that.
That's how generations work.
You think the 70s, we're looking back at the 50s going like, damn, wish I was there. You really think that?
Yeah.
Do you know anything about the 50s?
It's where everyone was rich, wasn't it? 50s, just after the war. Everyone.
You think like the emergence of fucking
50s?
Glam and disco, they were like, nah, I'd like to go back to when like Elvis was just kicking off.
I'd like to go to the 60s. And to go to Sacramento in the 60s. Or
Nah, that's wackadoo. I'd like to do...
Northern California in the 60s, and I would join the Manson cult, but I wouldn't do any of the bad shit.
That's cliche. I think it's boring. I think everybody's like, the 60s, but it's like, dude, all these people got so fucked up. They had kids when they were like on LSD. It's weird. It's not for me. I think that the 70s is an underrated decade. Music and company and everything. It's right before the 80s, like, and cocaine took over indefinitely. I think it's all about the fucking 70s.
I'll have to take your word for that one. I wasn't around to see it.
Yeah,
I arrived
and I was
in the late 80s. Well, you're older than me. I don't know what age you are.
I'm older than you.
I know you're older than me.
What a weird dig.
I know you're slightly older than me, so I know for sure. No, I'd love to go back to the 90s. Fuck it.
Yeah, I mean...
No phones, good Simpsons.
See, that's what I'm talking about, though. Like, I feel like... I'm not just like
even
saying...
Even 2010 was actually decent.
I'm not going like, oh my God, like, it's so much better. It's like, the phone... Like the emergence of the phone, like, I would like to know... God, like, when I moved to New York City, my phone couldn't tell me how to get anywhere. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
like,
the best.
It could not do that. So it was like I had a flip phone. I had a fucking Razor. This was crazy. I worked at Subway. I was coming off meth. I was working on Subway all summer before I went to New York.
How much was that?
Garbage. I'm working at Subway. Whatever minimum wage was. I don't even remember.
Tips. Tips was pretty decent enough there.
Barely. I know, we've talked about this. There was a guy, he came in, he was homeless, he didn't wear shoes, he called me Cyndi Lauper, he'd steal cookies, like reach around, and I was for some reason afraid of him, even though I was like, oh, you're like my ex on meth right now. But anyway, I then get to New York, and immediately from my dorm room buy a fucking flat screen TV, which like now, you know, is obviously like junk, and like a Motorola Razr. So like right off the bat, I've spent like half my savings. I'm like, no, but I need this shit. But like, I just want to, I want to know, I don't know. I feel like the emergence of all this technology, like, and all this connectivity or whatever, like, I don't know, this is like a cliche, but it's like, it's disconnected me from like everything I would rather be connected with.
I've got no concentration either. I'm a full-blown silly billy at this stage.
We've talked about this a million times.
Have we? I wouldn't remember because my fucking memory is fucked from my phone.
There's people that I know who won't make the switch to a smartphone.
That's smart.
It is smart.
Ironically.
Yeah.
A dumb phone is smarter than a smartphone. Maybe I should go back to that, but I need my phone for...
Yeah, suddenly now I need this.
Listening to podcasts at work so I don't have to listen to my thoughts. Wow, modern living is so charming.
It's not, but that's why I'm like all kind of like gung-ho. I'm like, I fucking want out of here. You know, because like, I don't know, watching that stuff with like Fran Lebowitz, I really miss New York. I mean, there's a vibe in New York that London just like doesn't have, and you know, you can't compare the two. But like, I don't know. I think, I mean, yeah, people are always on their phone, but I don't know. It feels like, I don't even know what I'm going to say. What are we doing?
What does it say? What does it say?
35.
Fuck my ass.
You wanted to do this.
Well, fucking...
Sometimes I think about how, like, we sit here and we try to do this and whatever, and then I, like, will see clips of other podcasts, and I'm like, what are we even doing?
I don't know, we're just trying to keep something up.
I mean, but I've never listened to those podcasts, so I don't even know if they're good. I just assume they're better than ours.
I don't know. I think ours is fucking, at least is real anyway. A lot of them are retarded. Some people are actually impossible to listen to. They are impossible to listen to. They're so deranged and phony and insane.
Wait, are you going to name names?
At least our... No. I mean, let me think. At least our fucking depressed heads are fucking just honest and on digitally recorded.
I'm not endorsing that I'm depressed, okay? Just because I feel like I see things a little differently than I used to, you know?
Is depressed the wrong word?
I think depressed is the wrong word. Like, I understand being around me right now these days can feel depressing. I get that. I'm existing in my body and my space, but like, I don't know. You know, I think about this. A comic came to visit. She wasn't here very long, and I was telling her, like, that, you know, since I've started, like, working through my shit accidentally, you know, that I didn't ask for, and then sometimes I'm like, can I just go back to not knowing? But I don't really want that, but that would be easier, because it's like, once the door is open, you can't fucking close it. It's just, like, swinging around, you know? And I, like, think, like, I once... And maybe if I'd stayed in New York, I probably, maybe, would have ended up going on there again or whatever. But I like, once went on Real Ass Podcast, a podcast that I know that, like, you listen to, or used to listen to. Or whatever. And, like, I remember the day I went on there. I was so hungover. I think the night before, I had lost the Caroline's March Madness thing to Lawrence Deloach, who's a very funny comedian, and... I have no idea what he's up to or what he's doing now. I hope it's great. He's a very nice person as well. But, like, I think it just proves that competitions almost mean virtually nothing, even though he's, like, super funny. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's, like, the biggest comedian in the world now. I don't know. But I was so fucking hungover. I was, like, puking before I even left the house. And then I get there. And then for whatever reasons I will never, like, now on this day right here, today years old, I'm like, why in the world would I go on that podcast and then tell a story about one of the worst things that's ever happened to me, like, on that particular podcast, which was, like, when I used to smoke meth and I was, like, decided to not smoke meth anymore. I mean, should I tell the story?
I don't think you need to tell the story.
No.
You can just reference the podcast and people...
Fine, you can go find the episode. But, like, now that I'm like, what? And then they named the podcast after the story, which is, like, fair enough. I've said all these things. I'm not you know what I mean? Like, but I'm just like, I was like, are you crazy? The answer is yes. Like, are you deranged? Absolutely. Like, are you fully disassociated from all experiences? Like, 100%. Like, it's crazy for me to think about that. I use that as, like, some value of, like, I don't know, entertainment. Like, I don't even know what I was thinking. Like, and it's not like, I'm just like, oh, I was like that. I don't know. I guess the word is disassociated, to the point where I was just like, yeah, I'll just say this horrible thing. And yeah, it did happen. And yeah, I was bad. And, you know, yes, it's also something, like, you know, we can, like, process and heal from and move on, you know, and whatever with life. But I'm just like, what the, why did you do that to you? You know what I mean? It's nuts. It's nuts to me that I did that. Like, thinking about it now, you know, like, when you talk about real stuff, that was a very real thing. And I'm like, and I guess it was, like, real ass, but, like, nobody knew that story. It's not like they were like, oh, so you want to tell that story? I never said it anywhere before. And I'm like, I was like, engage, like, this awful story. I still don't understand that. Like, about myself. And I was still drinking, so it was actually right before I quit drinking.
Oh, well, there you go. That might have been a
Not
subconscious step towards sobriety.
Yeah, I know you have no thoughts about the thing itself, but it's just I don't know. The more you know, right? The more you learn about yourself. It's just interesting because I feel like I see people who are, you know, by like a sort of whatever visual I'm getting from them on the internet are like, you know, becoming very successful. You know what I mean? Like,
I think people make themselves look like that.
Or like whatever you like fucking call success, like are on TV, have hundreds of thousands Instagram followers, like whatever, like by that definition of success are becoming successful. But I see them, you know, going on podcasts because that's the whole thing. That's like the New York comedy scene. It's like you jump from everybody's pod, you know what I mean? And like, yeah, and saying stuff like what I said, like about themselves and putting it out there. And it's weird because now, and I'm not like no judgment, but I'm like, oh fuck, like it immediately reminds me of that, and it feels kind of like, I don't know, you know, I don't want to say cringy because that sounds like a judgment, but I feel kind of like, oh no, like I wish you hadn't like said that, like put that out there, like about you. But I mean, everybody's different, but it feels like,
well, stand up in general is embarrassing anyway. It's an embarrassing thing
I guess
do.
I feel like I'm like, oh, you're like saying this thing, but it's like, it actually, like if you look under what you're saying, you're like, that's really bad. like, are you okay? Like so it's weird, I guess, how I've changed.
Oh yes, you've changed. We've all changed.
What the fuck does that mean?
I think change is, I mean, like a caterpillar into a butterfly, you know, that shit.
Did you just call me a butterfly?
Is that that's a compliment, isn't it?
What?
What, you want to be a moth?
No, absolutely. You know,
I think moths wear glasses though, so that makes more sense.
What do you mean they wear glasses?
They just have glasses wearing energy. You know, a fucking moth hitting off a light bulb.
Are you seriously calling me a moth right now?
You squint at the light, don't you?
Everybody squints at the light.
I'm just making myself.
The moths are the worst. You know, this is the other fucked up thing, like about, you know, this beautiful house that we live in, right? It's beautiful, but we got like different levels of like, you know, crazy neighbors around us, which I guess is just like city life. Like that is the city. I'm just used to New York crazy. But the other thing that I like can't wrap my head around is like the other day, last week, I show you a visual, a closet, like a wall, 2 walls actually, covered in green mold, and you go, oh, that's like not even the worst mold I've ever seen. It's fine. Like it'll just come off.
It was some of the best mold I've ever seen.
Yeah, and I'm like, why? I was like, excuse. You're like, yeah, no, like I've lived in worse places. Like this mold is fine. And I'm like, how is this a conversation? Because where I come from, all mold is bad. Like that's it. Like mold equals bad. Like you need to do something about it. Like incorrect. You shouldn't be breathing mold. You shouldn't be, you know, around mold. The mold spores fly around. Like, and I've been having these fucking insane allergies since God knows when. I thought it was like February this year, but it turns out probably when our flat flooded, they didn't do the closet, so the closet was filled with musty water that still wasn't dry, and then it covered in mold, and it covered my clothes in mold, and then I'm sitting here pulling my shit out that I was already pulling out because I want to get rid of everything because I don't know who I am or what I want to be anymore, but it's not whatever I was. That person is gone. And as I was pulling out the mold-filled clothes, I was like, this has all got to go. Like, I don't want fucking any of this anymore. But then, of course, you know, you start clinging to, like, old things, and I'm, like, putting stuff back after I get the mold off. But, like, the fact that you, like, didn't bat a fucking eyelash, you're like, no, this is just, like, how the UK is. And when your friend Liam came, he was like, yeah, I mean, like, mold and blah. And I'm like, what? And like, I'm realizing, like, mold is just accepted here. Like, and it's just, like, my body's rejecting it because I didn't grow up surrounded by it. Like, that I can't wrap my head around. But the fucked up thing is that you need a dehumidifier to make everything less wet. But I recently had to put lavender oil and cedar wood in a humidifier and put that around to get rid of the moths that were eating the clothes in my closet. So it's like, do I want mold or do I want moths? And this is not a decision I ever had to make in New York City. Like, they gave you heat. That was part of your life. You get the heat. You can live. You know, the rest of it you have to scrimp by, but, like, you don't have to live in the cold. You don't have to choose between moths or mold. You just, you know, you don't have to live like that.
Heat's pretty, that's a good deal.
Yeah, man. It was a good deal.
We haven't turned the heat on yet, though. That's pretty fucking...
Yeah, we're living like peasants. I'm not going to lie. Today, when I got out of bed, it was kind of like a throwback to the Wimbledon era when they wouldn't turn the heat on. But I was like, no, but this is my choice. Like, I'm not turning my heat on. But yeah, it's cold in here. It's not cold right now because I surround the place with like candles, you know. Like, I'm just going to one day just set the whole place on fire and then it'll really be warm in here. But like... You know, I think the body heat plus the candles.
Yoga pants underneath everything. I just wear 2 pairs of pants.
Don't you want to not live like this one day?
I don't give a shit.
What do you mean you don't give a shit?
I mean, I can deal with it.
I understand that, but don't you want to live... This is, I think, the thing that's, like, starting to click with me. Is like, why do I want to live a life that I can just, like, deal with? Like, I want to live a life where I wake up and I'm like, yeah, this feels good. Like, you know, or it feels all right.
Oh, tell me where that happens. I want to go to that party.
Where things are just okay? Well, I don't necessarily think it's in a place where I'm choosing between moths and mold. Like, I don't think that is...
I choose moths every time over mold.
Have you ever had holes chewed in your clothes? Not that you did probably. Yourself, but...
I can't remember. That's because the moths, they lay the eggs, isn't it? Is it eggs? Yeah,
I mean, yeah, eggs, and they fly around and they eat your shit.
That's disgusting, actually.
It is disgusting. Thank you. Flying around, laying eggs, chewing up your shit. And it's all the nice shit, too. And so it's like, I guess, I don't know. They don't write songs about how, you know, fucking friendly and sunshiny and, you know, whatever, like London is. They just don't.
Who did it raise? Where's these songs about these friendly places? Give me an example.
New York is, there's, the fucking guy from Kiss, Back in the New York Groove. That's a fun song.
Is he saying there are people that are happy and friendly and sunny?
The whole song is like, it's like riding in your car and you're like looking around and you're like, yeah, I'm in the groove of that. Like, you know what I mean? It's about the energy of it all. Like, it's not like, oh, New York's a dump. Like, you know, of course there's sad songs about New York, but then there's also like, hello, Frank Sinatra, New York, New York. Like,
in the New York minute. Ooh.
I'm just saying
everything can change.
I would love to hear a song that's like, oh, like, you know, London, I like love the rain and how you know, salt and pepper are a spice and the sun never comes out and I've got mold all over my stuff. Yeah, I mean, like fucking Pulp, like Common People. That whole song is about like, you know, like, you know. No?
So London, bad reviews at the moment.
Look,
low on the polls.
The trees with the leaves falling are really beautiful right now.
Yeah, the area is nice. I love it. I like to walk.
The park is very beautiful.
It looks good, man.
Yeah, no, it's pretty. The buildings are very pretty.
Buildings are pretty. It's not a bad place. I don't think it's a bad place.
Yeah, but I mean,
West London is not a bad place.
But I'm not wrong about what I'm saying either.
No, I guess not.
What am I?
No, I don't know. I'm not a fucking city fucking...
My friend who came from New York, I mean, I guess I haven't said anything about her, but like it was Wendy Starling. She's a very funny comedian, very nice person, very cool. Check her out if you get a chance. But she was like, yeah, I like went out of the hotel and I was like, yeah, give me some of that, like, this was like her saying, like, give me some of that city vibe. Like, what is the city? And she was like, everybody's just got their head down. Nobody's looking up, like nobody's looking around, nobody's like waving or saying hi or like, what's up, you know, doll, like, you know, like no cat calling, none of the shit, you know. And it is kind of like a keep it to yourself place, which like I don't like hate all the time, but I am kind of like, I don't know.
Well, I'll be in California in a few days and I'll do my comparisons to Californians and Londoners, but basically everyone's a fucking foreigner anyway at this stage, and that's not in a racist way. That's just kind of.
I don't even know why you said that.
But no, everyone's from everywhere. That's what I mean. So you don't get a gist of a place. You're like, can you really get a gist of a place, or can you just get a gist of a place in a certain time?
I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of San Francisco. We're going to be there for a few days, but I think you'll get to see the Manson house, and that's a big deal for you, and that'll be nice.
It's not a big deal for me, but it's just something. I'll walk up in Ashbury. I'll rate their homeless. Maybe I'll have a few jokes about that.
Oh, great. You're going to California to make jokes about the homeless.
Well, I heard they just let the homeless problem go crazy. I want to see it for myself.
They do.
So I get to see that for myself.
Well, see, that's the thing, is like my friend Luke, and I know he doesn't like mean this, but he was like, he has to go to San Francisco for work all the time from Sacramento. and he hates it. He hates it there. He's like, I hate it here. He was almost like, I'm not going to our friend's wedding because I hate it here so much. Yeah, it's different. I mean, it's covered in human shit and like camps and people break into each other's cars and steal stuff, and then there's like a giant tech industry. So the whole thing's like very.
What happened to it just being the gay city?
I think that's Dublin now, huh?
Dublin's not gay. Maybe it is.
Yeah, they look gay to me.
Did it look gay?
I don't know. It looked like there was a big gay community.
It's a gay community everywhere.
I don't know. I mean, that's like fucking Miami. I mean, Jesus, I was in West Palm Beach recently, and I was like, fuck, I could do with being rich here.
Yeah.
But
Rich, that's the issue.
never gonna happen unless we get more Patreon subscribers. Please help us make us rich, and I'll buy a compound in a city like, or a country like Portugal, and then we can create a cult, and you can join it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, your energy is really
fucked.
fucking electric. I don't know why you wanted to record this today.
Yeah,
I've
but
had
no,
17 cups of coffee, which is different for me.
Next time I'll be jacked up on the caffeine. I didn't have that many.
I stopped. I used to have just one coffee a day, and now, I don't know, I've definitely done something. But anyway, is this over now?
I think this is over. Good night, folks. We'll talk to you again soon. God bless, and
God bless.
take care of each other, and keep us in your prayers and in your thoughts. Good night.